Item number 9 is an introduction of the Milwaukee Bucks West Bend Court Project. And we have a presentation tonight by Park Rec and Forestry Director Craig Hefner.
Good evening. We have a very exciting project that we want to discuss briefly and certainly answer any questions. The Milwaukee Bucks, you may have heard of them, and the West Bend Mutual Insurance Company, you may have heard that company in town, have come together to do a very generous gift to the city. And what they're looking at doing is working with the city, Park Rec Department, and also the Boys and Girls Club. Jay Fisher and Ryan Rollinger are here in the audience as well. So 4 partners involved in this, and it would be developing, we're calling it a sports complex. It's a basketball court, volleyball court, with also potential for pickleball on one of the courts and double volleyball courts. It would be mainly used by the Boys and Girls Club and West Bend Recreation Division for programming, but certainly open to the public when it's not being used by either entity. It would be placed in a location, we call it A diamond. It's a softball diamond, kind of in the left field area of the hardball diamond, one of the parking lot just across from the fish pond. So A diamond would actually go away as a softball diamond. We currently use that for lots of youth practices, some of our rec division programs and Boys and Girls Club programming, and the church softball league uses that field for a couple hours a week. So we're working with those partners to find different locations. B Diamond certainly is used heavily by the church softball league and our programs and Boys and Girls Club, which will continue, but this would be a great addition to the park. What you have before you, I believe, is a drawing which shows kind of the court, shows a basketball court. It would be set up almost regulation size, a little bit smaller. There would actually be 6 basketball hoops, 2 for the main court and then 4 on the sides. That basketball court could also be used as a volleyball court. Then separately from it would be another strictly a volleyball court with also a line for pickleball. Again, focus is not for adults necessarily, although they could play here for basketball or volleyball, but really focused on kids. You also have a term sheet that was signed by the Milwaukee Bucks president. There's 2 changes to it that I'm going to bring up to you from what you have in your packet. The first one's pretty minor, but it shows, or it's in the first paragraph, and it says the new changes. It says sports complex will be used primarily by the Boys and Girls Club of West Bend and the West Bend Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department. When not in use by either of those entities, then it'll be used by the general public. And Jay and myself are actually meeting this week to talk more about how that gets used. But from a city point of view, we're very flexible on this. We want to see it get used heavily. The other one that's important to us was number 6. In your packet, I think number 6 says any cost overruns beyond the gift would be the responsibility of the city. We didn't think that was appropriate, so the Bucks have graciously accepted any cost overruns to cover that. So that's been agreed to by them. I don't think there's been any other changes to what you have before you. There's probably plenty more to talk about. Actually, let me just give you a quick timing. If the council would approve this agreement tonight, they are ready to go with construction in the month of October yet this year and get it all done by the end of October probably. They have vendors lined up. They would actually take care of removing the fencing that is there, the field, or doing some excavation and then laying down. They basically lay down a concrete pad, and then I'll call it sport court, but they call it snap court. It's a more flexible material that goes on top of it. It can be used outdoors just like indoors. There's 2 layers of it, and that's what the surface will be for that. And then they would construct all the components, volleyball standards, basketball hoops, all that. There's a picture of the logos, the 4 logos that would go on to the court as well. So that's kind of a really quick run through. So I'm happy to answer any questions, or if you have any questions for Jay or Ryan, they're here as well.
Ian?
Just a note, it's not on for approval tonight, it's an introduction item. We didn't know if we would have the final term sheet, the amended one in time, so it was put on as an introduction. The actual approval will be on next meeting, next week.
And the next meeting is next Monday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ian. Any questions? Right?
Craig, it does indicate that the West Bend or the Bucks will not be responsible for contributing or funding the operations and maintenance of the project. This being a little bit of a unique style court, is there any specific maintenance that you discovered that may be over and above standard maintenance for any other basketball
great question. They're completely responsible for future maintenance of it. I see it as a lot less maintenance than maintaining a softball diamond, actually. Just because they're out there dragging that and maintaining lines and all that. Yes, there's a possibility of, they're basically tiles that get placed in. They've been out there now for 20 or 25 years, so it's definitely held up. I believe there's a 16-year warranty on this. So you could pop a tile, something kind of like your carpeting here. But for the most part, they've really stood the test of time now. So the basketball components, they're putting in some really nice basketball backboards and hoops and breakaway rims. So it's all pretty heavy duty things. We're always worried about vandalism. They also do, they're adjustable. You can crank the rims down to a lower level, but that wouldn't be for the public. That would be only for kids programming. So I see it actually as really sturdy. There'll be some fencing behind the volleyball court, some netting, but overall I think it's a lot less than maintaining a softball net.
Does the court itself actually come up in the winter then and is stored somewhere?
No,
Does
it will actually stay there. So it kind of looks like mesh. I mean, it's much more sturdy than that, but the water and the snow and everything drains through it. They set up drainage to get outside of it. So it would stay in place year round.
Thank you.
I like the location. I know that people hate to see the softball diamond go, but from a vandalism standpoint, it's a pretty visible spot, pretty easy for our police and other folks monitoring to get to. And regarding Chris Field, I think it'll end up being positioned that regardless of how the baseball diamond may get tweaked here in the next year, that this is still well out of the way of any of that.
Yes, we're actually out there measuring again today just to make sure, but there's plenty of space. Even expanding, of course, outfield fence into this area. We also are working at Barton Park to upgrade that softball diamond. We've had one for many, many years. It used to be an adult softball haven. And so that'll be another opportunity, and probably a better opportunity for kids' practices and those kind of things for people that were playing Diamond A.
John?
I just want to comment as far as, I think that's a great idea, putting this in there. If you leave the softball diamond there, if they practice, balls may end up going over into the hardball diamond while they're playing, and I'm sure the ball players aren't real happy with that. I know I've been involved in that a long time ago. So, you're utilizing an area that pretty much is going to be dead. Now it's going to be viable for the young kids. I think it's a great idea. Great job with the Milwaukee Bucks and West Bend Mutual. Appreciate that.
Anybody else? I will have this on for decision next week, Monday. Thanks to you, Craig. Jay, thanks to you guys and folks at Boys and Girls Club, and of course, West Bend Mutual. Thanks for being the conduit.
Thank you.
And number